ADF FA18 Hornets arrive for APEC 2018 security drills. PNG and UN reaffirm long-standing partnership. And preparations in full gear for Morobe Show weekend.
This is National EMTV News with Marilyn Diaukatam.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. 2 Australian fighter jets flew into Port Moresby today as part of the APEC transport meeting now underway in the nation's capital. The Royal Australian Air Force FA18 Hornets conducted drills today and will continue tomorrow as part of security operations for APEC 2018. The APEC transport meeting will be opened by the Prime Minister tomorrow and will end on Saturday.
The fighter jet is a part of the APEC transport meeting. They arrived in the nation's capital today and conducted their first flyby. The FA18 Hornets landed at the PNG Defence Air Force Base at 8 Mile, where the Transport Minister, the Joint Security Task Force heads, led by the Police Commissioner, and other dignitaries gathered to witness their arrival. As part of the security operation, they are conducting drills. The Minister for Transport, Pilian says this is in preparation for the 2018 APEC meeting.
Safety and security of the participating countries in this TMM10, the meeting that is a lead-up meeting to the 2018 APEC meeting. So security aspect for those APEC economies who are going to participate now in the TMM10 as well as the 2018 APEC, the guarantee is their safety is highly guaranteed.
Meanwhile, the chairman for APEC, Sir Charles Lepani, says the arrival of the F-18 shows the strength of the Australian-PNG Defence Treaty.
Australia-PNG Defence Cooperation Treaty has been one of the most excellent examples of our cooperation apart from other treaties we have with our friends in Australia. And to deliver this package of these birds, elegant birds as they flew over, is an amazing show of that expression of that friendship and in that treaty that we have with Australia in terms of defence cooperation, apart from, of course, our other cooperation efforts with the Economic Cooperation Treaty and the police.
The Police Commissioner and head of the Joint Security Task explained the security measures taken.
To get Australia to support us, this is the high-end capability, meaning that we are down here and we don't know what's happening up in the air. This is the responsibility that we have now given over, or we will be asking the Australians to help us. So it's a capability that we're building.
The Royal Australian Air Force Air Commodore Phil Gordon says Australia was committed in providing air safety for visiting delegates during APEC.
Help PNG deliver a successful series of APEC meetings, and I think it's fantastic that the Transport Ministers meeting today is already on track for a great success. So that is a credit to the organisers and to the Joint Security Task Force and the work that they do to make sure that the events are safe and secure.
It took the Hornets 1 hour 30 minutes from Townsville Base to Port Moresby. One of the pilots flying the FA18 Hornet was Flight Lieutenant James Clark. They also flew over Ella Beach today at an altitude of 250 meters above sea level.
I'd just like to say hello and thanks for coming out. It's always nice to come and visit a new place. It's really exciting and yeah, looking forward to seeing a bit of Port Moresby Township.
Adelaide Xerox Curry National, EMTV News.
To Government Isaac Lupari says Papua New Guinea is on track to host the 2018 APEC Summit. Following a briefing yesterday, Lupari is pleased with the ongoing preparations and meetings. One of them is on security. He said new inclusion in the security operation is Indonesia because the country has extensive wealth in experience of hosting APEC.
And I can say as the Chief Secretary to Government, from yesterday's briefing, I am 100% satisfied with the progress that we have made. But as I said, we've got plenty more to do. But progress is made. We're on track. We would deliver APEC in a truly Melanesian way. We're not going to be like China. We're not going to be like big boys who want to put big things. We're going to deliver APEC given within our constraints. And our government is very focused. The public service is focused. Our partners like UNDP, Australia, New Zealand, the rest of the world who are coming on board to help us, they are giving all the support. They know what it means to have APEC 2018 meeting in this country for Papua New Guinea and the region.
UNDP's Director for Asia and Pacific, Hao Lang Shu, is in the country. He officiated today at the launch of the plan to build a new office complex, UN House, in Port Moresby. The head of the United Nations Development Programme in Asia and the Pacific applauded PNG for the equal partnership. He said it added value to development in the country and that the United Nations will continue to strengthen mutual relationship.
The equal partnership between the United Nations and the government of Papua New Guinea has achieved results in the last 40 years. Mr. Shu says the launching today symbolizes collaborative partnership.
We're an equal partner. Right? So I think this building symbolizes the kind of relationship that we're equal partners. The government wants us to work together, different agencies to work together. So they're facilitating this. Working as one by providing the land allows us to build a building. So in the future, we will have to work together more closely with the government among ourselves. So this is what this is about.
Chief Secretary to Government Isaac Lupari acknowledged the United Nations' work in the country, especially with regional and global issues focused on the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. One of the major achievements in this partnership was the Bougainville Peace Agreement.
It gives us that opportunity to be able to access opportunities in funding, technical assistance, and towards meeting the Sustainable Development Goals that we've agreed to. I think there are 17 of that we've signed in.
UNDP's resident coordinator Roy Trivedi told MTV News that with the new office complex, this will reduce operating costs and more funds can be prioritized on projects. Rental alone cost around 3 million kina.
Aspiration would be in the year when government is hosting the APEC, by next year this time we have at least the shell of a building ready and so on, and it will also mark this really generous thing that the government has done by giving us this land.
The UN House will be a modern office complex to house the 14 agencies. Discussions began in 2010 with the land allocated in 2014 at the government precinct at Waigani. Construction is expected to be completed by 2019. Fabian Hakelitz, National MTV News.
Most small to medium businesses are expected to be established in the country. This follows a funding of 900,000 kina presented to BSP for the Land Fast business model. Bank South Pacific Manager Retail Standard Wise says this proves the positive outcome of the lending facility and quick turnaround of loans assisted by the bank.
Despite the state of the country's economy, nationally owned businesses in the country have thrived to grow the SME sector. This morning, the Department of Trade and Commerce handed Bank South Pacific 900,000 kina to assist the LandFast software for businessmen and women. BSP says this proves the confidence of the successive use of the lending software facilitated by the bank.
Over the last 4 years, we have funded a total of 1,500 loans to the value of 500 million to the SME sector, 79 million of which was originated through the LandFast system.
The Trade and Commerce Minister says the funding is to create more business opportunities. He says the government wants to see more nationals benefit.
Therefore, we will continue to support this policy objective by working along with our key international development partners such as the World Bank and other stakeholders to promote such good initiatives.
The lending facility model is designed by BSP and supported by the International Finance Corporation. BSP Group Chief Executive Officer Robin Fleming says there is a fast turnaround and the right level of support will enhance and open up the risk-sharing facility.
And it is only part reimbursement. We've incurred a lot of costs ourselves to be able to develop this particular land-fast solution, and part of the agreement that we'd had with government.
The government aims to create 500,000 SMEs in the country as required in the Vision 2050 statement. Jack Lopava, Junior National, EMTV News.
Water PNG is bringing all 6 universities together in Leh next week for the National University Debate as part of its 30th anniversary celebrations. The aim is to educate Papua New Guineans on the importance of good water and proper sanitation. Water PNG, through the Department of National Planning and Monitoring, has partnered with the European Union to make this possible. The European Union contributed 30,000 kina to assist in next week's water debate.
Upon presenting the 30,000 kina check to Water PNG, National Authorizing Office Support Unit Program Director Roger Kara noted that it is always a challenge for entities like Water PNG to provide urban water and sanitation services, and the commemorative activities this year will hopefully encourage more support from all stakeholders. Being the main topic of the intervarsity debate in Leh, safe water and sanitation in PNG is also a key development agenda for the government and a cause the European Union supports.
The thing that needs to happen in the country now is to ensure that there is delivery of water and sanitation throughout the country, particularly in the remote parts of the country. The target, like I said during the presentation, is basically under the medium-term plan is to have 70 or 80% achievement of access to water and safe sanitation.
While thanking the European Union and the Department of National Planning and Monitoring, Water PNG's Chief Corporate Officer Imbu Palya emphasized that clean water and sanitation is of paramount importance for every individual.
In this anniversary year, we want to get the message across to our people on the importance of water and sanitation. I think one of the topics on the debate is climate change impact of climate change on water and sanitation. And we also want to educate our people to be vigilant on the water sources.
The intervarsity debate will reach a vast number of people as it will be broadcasted on the 9th to the 11th this month.
The people of Papua New Guinea to tune on to the TVs on the 13th of October, next week Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and see the best of the elites in this country debating each other, best brains, talking about water and sanitation. We should support them and enjoy the program that night.
Dinaros Raiko, National, EMTV News.
West New Britain Governor Sasindran Mutavell has welcomed Prime Minister Peter O'Neill's intention to offload GST collection to the province. He said this is a step in the right direction in reforming and fulfilling the national government's promise to give greater financial powers to the provinces to address the capacity issues. The collection of tax revenue at the provincial level has always been suggested by governors. It is an additional revenue flow that they can tap into to meet provincial priorities. Leh Police Boss Anthony Wagambi is calling for a review of all liquor licenses by the provincial administration. This follows a spike in the number of alcohol-related deaths at liquor vending areas in Leh. He is questioning the process of issuing liquor licenses as there appears to be an increased number of vendors.
Liquor shops operating in busy parts of Leh have been the site for a number of drunken brawls, contributing to law and order issues. Leh Police Boss Anthony Wagambi raised concerns over the operations of certain liquor shops in the city.
I am concerned about the issuing of licenses to premises and the trading hours.
There have been a number of alcohol-related injuries and deaths reported in the past at liquor vending areas. Just recently, a young man was killed at the Leh Bowling Club. He was involved in a brawl and was later found dead in a nearby drain. The increased number of liquor shops in the city is a concern for police.
And they make money inside there, and then whatever happens outside becomes a problem for the police and the public.
Mr. Wagambi is calling for liquor licenses to be reviewed by the provincial administration.
Because police have no authority over issuing of licenses. It's something which goes back to the administration. They need to go back and look at this, and we need to start reviewing licenses, and we're going to start shutting down some places.
Lucy Kopana, National, EMTV News, Leh.
Two suspects involved in the murder of late Cassidy Kausik at the Lake Bowling Club during the Independence weekend have been arrested by Lake Police. One of the suspects was identified as an employee of Harmony Gold, while the other a local businessman. Both were charged for willful murder and appeared at the Lake District Court on the 29th of September. They are being remanded at the Bremo CIS. You're with National EMTV News. Among stories after the break, Kerma Open MP Richard Mendani talks about the pending election petition. Welcome back. Kerma Open MP Richard Mendani is prepared to face the election petition served against him. Mr. Mendani says this will not stop development plans in the district. Meanwhile, the second-time MP urged his supporters to remain calm and not to stir any violence related to the election petition.
In light of the election petition served against the Kerma MP, Mr. Mendani held a conference to speak to his supporters and people of the district yesterday in Port Moresby. MP Mendani said the petition is now before the courts and he will challenge the case.
I welcome that, and that I think court is the place to settle all grievances.
The petition was filed by runner-up Thomas Oppa, claiming there was bribery involved in Mr. Mendani's victory. The second-time MP says the petition will not deter the District Development Authority from continuing the projects in areas of agriculture, especially coffee and oil palm. Despite being in opposition, MP Mendani says he has now strengthened ties with Gulf Governor Chris Iveta to improve services in Kerma Town.
I will continue to perform my duty as a member-elect for Kerma Open. I will work with all the council presidents, councillors, the governor, and try and live up to the expectations of our people of Kerma and Gulf province.
Meanwhile, all election petition cases filed in the National Court have been adjourned to next Monday, 9th October 2017. Petitioners and most MPs were turned away yesterday at the courthouse.
Let the courts decide on our victories. No can larim yubla kisim lan blibla na making about law town or one can bagarab come up law supporters law nalba candidate. Let courts decide on this. Na larim yubla clarim on name blomibla.
Jack Lapava Jr., National EMTV News.
The APEC provincial government is looking to greater heights to move the province forward. Provincial Administrator Richard Combo told EMTV News they are trying to create an economic platform that will make the business environment more conducive and one which is compliant. And it has begun with the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding with the Investment Promotion Authority.
The APEC provincial government wants to improve how business is conducted in the province. Mr. Combo says in terms of business, they need to tighten the gaps to ensure what's tailored in plans is achievable.
An increase in the number of businesses also means an increase in revenue and government taxes for the province. Not only for the province, we also have businesses which also pay the national taxes as well in the province. All taxes are always in proportion with the number of businesses that we have.
The signing of the MOU today is significant as it opens the pathway to business, but where there is proper regulation to ensure they are conducted under national laws. More emphasis will be on foreign enterprises. Combo thanked APEC for realizing the need to economic development.
Some of these attendants in the shops don't even know how to speak English. Now, the question is, how did they ever come into this country to be employed if they don't even know how to speak English? Now, these are some of the things that are on the visas and the requirements for entering this country. These are type of examples that hopefully with the help of the IPA and also we can pull in people from the customs, immigration, the Labour Department to come in together and help us sort these things out.
APEC is the third province to sign the Investment Promotion Authority Provincial Memorandum of Understanding. This means IPA services will be brought to the people's doorsteps, which begins with a help desk through the Province Commerce Division.
A lot of our people, they come forward when we go for our awareness campaigns, and I think it's only proper
that we provide the city services at the provincial level. And hopefully the provincial administrations can take it further down to the LLG level. We've seen a lot of people come forward just to register companies, and there is no point in them coming all the way to Port Moresby because it will be an expensive exercise.
The IPA-ECPIC MOU is a result of the database survey and sport inspection exercise conducted last year. Fabian Haklitz, National EMTV News.
Water company Aderanu today backed the events committee for the 75th Kokoda anniversary celebrations. A funding of 10,000 kina and 200 caps and shirts were presented to the committee members at Aderanu's head office. The funding will help the committee stage the marathon this month, while the cultural show will be staged in November. The events committee says the celebrations aim to give prominence to the historical richness of the track and the war veterans who proudly served the country.
Because our forefathers been part of the Kokoda War. So this sponsorship will actually go on as far as the events are ongoing. We'll promote the brand, the Aderanu brand, on the events that we are going to be outrolling.
We hope that it will be significant in the sense that it will bring something out that you people will be pleased, and also for Aderanu we will be pleased. And remember that this is one of those many other opportunities that we can continue to partner.
The 56th Morobe Show this weekend is expected to attract over 100,000 people. Preparations are well underway at Lay Showground with police to tighten security. Julie Badoy Owa with this report from Lay.
This road is expected to be packed with people coming in from other provinces, especially from the highlands, to witness the 2017 Morobe Show in Lay. The members of the public are setting up their stalls to sell goods and items during the show. A resident of Lay, Lydia Eisen, says the event is a good time to sell.
This event them come up, yearly event them come up, at least give chance, opportunity law. All kind line no some law market na any some lilig money law sustaining living blah.
Law line block on side, also on side, law line outside, say the market.
Salemo laiswara, teng, normally law islands, law wakam, na masimolet.
One of the main attractions are the motorcycle stand displays. This is where it will all happen this weekend. Much of the action will come from the local and international bikers in Lay. Every year, security is tightened for the Morobe Show. Lay's Metropolitan Superintendent Anthony Wagambi Jr. says police would be on alert at the showground to attend to disturbances and disorders during the event.
Police operations will be in full swing. Our mobile squad 13 was on deployment for a couple of months. They've returned back and they'll be full strength assisting to ensure that the environment is safe for everybody to move around.
Julie Badui Owa, National EMTV News, Lay.
Clement Koi is an artist who has traveled extensively in the country. He started painting in primary school and has expanded with work to include large billboards for politicians. He says while PNG art is high in demand, artists get very little to no support for their work.
Clement Koi is a brilliant self-taught artist and an angry one. For years, he's worked like many other artists in Papua New Guinea without much support from the government authorities who are tasked to promote arts and culture.
But all tourists come inside here, all come looking more, all come buy more paintings from me. All bahad lo carry more piece in grass na, all bahad lo carry more skin lo kundu na, all animal something na, all seeds na, all na carry go, all paintings all carry go again.
On various occasions, he's made individual representations to people he knows in government with little success. But Kois is quite well known among political circles. The artist from Simbu has painted numerous portraits and billboards of politicians. His work has taken him all over the country.
All artists them very, very talented. All tourists come also look also amazed. You know, all got all painters, all artists, all country, but me especially all abstract, or contemporary paintings from me say, awesome, bro him all wow.
His art is his primary source of income. He began painting as a child after realizing that he had the natural talent of identifying different colors and mixes just by looking at the picture or a scene. Today he focuses on portraits, which earn him most of his income.
You got plenty street artists lo Mosby. Pai look more hard work na every Saturday also go to craft market or legal craft market na try best to make money blow na. But also craft market government put him also craft market. And more business houses here let put him craft market. Look more customers blow na. Try all artists too sakarem gonna go salim.
Each portrait sells for up to 1,500 kina. It is still largely undervalued for the quality of the work and the talent involved. Scott Waide, National MTV News, Leh.
And now looking at our finance news, the kina closed unchanged at $0.3125 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.3050 $0.3841 Australian dollars, $0.255 euro, and 34.04 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading higher while coffee, cocoa, and copper closed the day lower. Palm oil and copper closed higher while crude oil is trading the day lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed at 19.97 points higher, the ASX closed at 0.26 points lower, and the All Ordinaries closed at 0.66 points higher. Stories making headlines overseas. U.S. authorities question the girlfriend of the mass murderer in the recent U.S. shooting in Las Vegas. Don't go away. Welcome back. Turning overseas, investigators in Las Vegas are questioning the girlfriend of gunman Stephen Paddock after he killed 59 people in the massacre at an outdoor music concert on Sunday night. U.S. President Donald Trump is meeting with law enforcement officials today, but he refused to be drawn on the issues of gun control.
Today, the President and First Lady arrived in Las Vegas to meet some of the survivors and first responders. At police headquarters, he was briefed on the investigation and then spoke to the people of Las Vegas and America.
We cannot be defined by the evil that threatens us or the violence that incites such terror.
Key to the investigation will be this woman, Stephen Paddock's girlfriend. Mary Lou Danley was brought back from the Philippines last night and is being questioned by the FBI. At the hospital, the President met medical staff and praised the way they'd responded to the disaster.
It makes you very proud to be an American when you see the job that they've done. And people that would not be around today are up there, and they'll be leaving the hospital in a week or 2 weeks or 5 weeks.
Though one question he didn't want to engage with.
Gun violence problem. Well, we're not going to talk about that today. We won't talk about that.
But in Washington, no such restraint from those demanding a tightening of gun laws. Gabby Giffords, the congresswoman who nearly died after she was shot campaigning, leading the charge.
Now is the time to come together, be responsible. Democrats, Republicans, everyone. We must never stop fighting. Fight, fight, fight.
Donald Trump's motorcade passed by the Mandalay Bay. Today he's fulfilled his role as consoler-in-chief, but on wider policy questions arising from the shooting, he chose silence.
The president of Catalonia has again appealed for mediation following the recent independence referendum, which was declared unlawful by Spain and by the European Commission. But the Spanish government said there could be no mediation unless Catalan leaders respected the law.
So much noise, and so far very little listening. The now nightly protest in Barcelona, to which the ears of Madrid have been firmly shut. Tonight, the Catalan president appeared on television, criticising Spain's king for failing to condemn police violence in his address last night, but also seeming to soften his tone with an appeal for dialogue. "I'm open to a process of mediation," he said. "Emotions are running high. Yesterday, nearly 750,000 people protested against Spanish police brutality. And among the president's core supporters, his pledge to declare independence in days is keenly welcomed. I'm for independence. It's my culture, this woman says. It's true that there's also an economic aspect and very potent oppression by the state. Nationalism might be in the ascendant, but Catalan politics is, and always has been, a complex mosaic.
It's not necessarily that people only love what is Catalan. Rather, they're saying that this state, as it is, doesn't serve us anymore. We don't like it anymore.
But among those who oppose Madrid, there are many who are scared by the idea of secession.
I don't support independence because I don't know what it means. What it is showing is that there's a fracture in society and it's breaking up families and friendships. It's stretching coexistence to the limits.
Mediation, perhaps by the church, is possible, but it would require both sides to step back now from the politics of belligerence.
Trukai Sports is next. We'll continue with the Rugby League World Cup tour in the Central Province. Stay tuned.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The central leg of the trophy tour continued along the Arama coast today. The trophy visited many villages and was always given a pleasantly warm welcome. Elijah Lavette reports.
From Kupiano, the trophy was taken to Gavuone village. A large group of students and villagers from the area awaited the arrival of the trophy. The Paul Barrier trophy was taken around the village of Gavuone. Before the cup was transported on a dinghy back to Kerelakwa. From Kerelakwa, it was taken on a convoy to Gaivakala, where it was met by excited children of the area. The convoy continued through the village of Gaivakala along the coastline to their final stop at Paramana village. The trophy was again welcomed by dancers from the area. People were given the opportunity to take photos with the cup. From Paramana village, the trophy visited Tauruba village in the Rigo district. The trophy was carried into Tauruba village and handed over to former PNG Kumul's players. School children were given the opportunity to take pictures, touch and hold the cup. It was then taken on a convoy to Gaulupu village where the Paul Barrier trophy was put on a raft which floated and was received by former Kumul's captain Tony Killer.
Yeah, it was an honor to the village. It was the first time for the village folks to take part in the decision of the World Cup trophy. And they were all excited, and I think they are looking forward to the show this year. Be one of the generals to play the Kiwis and to even win them on our soil was a privilege and honor. and was unfortunate to play against a World Cup team, a former World Cup team, New Zealand Kiwis.
And the trophy continues its journey through Central Province.
Suburban Rugby League club Betari Falcons today received new team jerseys from sponsor Kileton Investment. Since the establishment of the team 12 months ago, Betari Falcons has been one of the top teams in the Morata League. The team has made it to the semi-finals and will play the do-or-die game this Saturday. Team patron Inspector David Terry thanked Kileton Investments, saying the concept of creating a rugby league team was to reform unemployed youths through the game of rugby league, also to foster discipline that could help them make it to the big league, such as the Hunters or the Comolds.
Made the major semi-finals. Big grade last week only Rousey Mountain Bulls, only gone along major semi-finals from the A grade now. This coming weekend we are playing the major semi-finals. That in itself is an incredible achievement, because for a newcomer into the top NCD Suburban League competition, we had 22 teams in the beginning. 22 teams from across Port Moresby City only can play rugby league. Now Betari Falcons go inside. Now people participate and compete with them, some of the best.
Congratulations to the Falcons for making this fun. We got a grand final. Major semi-finals. Commitment with the Kileton. If you do make it, not like him Jesse Libra. If you do make it the grand final, my commitment is the vaccine plus of Jesse's. Congratulations to you again. I hope you will work him, the current income, you must support the Kileton of the player.
As a team, I'm coming to Namelo Yan, I'm calling finals of him. Milato, thank you straight, Papa David Terry. Some of the boys, day one come some don't black or some struggle, you stop. Try to send now. What is what is stop? Thank you straight, Papa. Stop was a
Still to come in Trukai Sports, a post-mortem of PNG's performance at the recent Asia Games. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back. Now that the Asian Indoor and Martial Arts Games 2017 has come to a close, Papua New Guinean athletes who participated at the recent sporting events in Turkmenistan against some of Asia's greatest are now able to assess themselves and come back stronger.
Using the APEC as a platform to prepare themselves for the Commonwealth, Dikatoa for one, along with Morobe Show and Stephen Curry, will be returning to the Commonwealth Games next year to defend their gold medals. The Commonwealth defending gold medalists, along with Toa Udia and Lorraine Harry, are now back at the Oceania Weightlifting Institute in New Caledonia to continue strenuous training as they await the 2018 Commonwealth Games on the Gold Coast. Going up against stronger opposition, Dikatoa and Morobe Show came close to medals when they finished 5th in the 52 and the 62 kgs respectively. Similarly, Stephen Curry also came close. This has now become a drive for them to lift more in the next event, the Commonwealth Games. While swimmers Ryan Muskelin, Ashley Sito and Leonard Kalate have also made a mark in the water, felling Papua New Guinea records in all events they took part in. Kalate for one outdid national record 27.06 set in 2011 by Stanford Kawala with 26.89 in the 50-meter butterfly. While Muskelin toppled 3 senior records and an open record set by Ian Nakmai and Sam Segas. And Ashley Sito fell his own Masters record set last year with a new timing of 1 minute 4 seconds. For now, they return to training as well, as Kalate sets his sight on the 2018 Youth Olympics. Sito and Muskelin eye the FINA World Championships. Dinarose Raiko, National, EMTV Sports.
To cricket, round 6 of the Intercontinental Cup fixture between the PNG Barramundis and Scotland came to a draw on day 4 yesterday. The fixture that started on Sunday saw exceptional batsmanship from the Barras with the likes of Vani Vagi Morea and Sesabao, but was not enough to improve their standing.
The Barra's second inning in the final day yesterday ended with 3 for 262 in their reply to Scotland's first inning of 541. Trailing by 110 runs from their first inning, the Barras fought back well but fell short of levelling the field of play. In fact, they got off to a shaky start when top-order batsman Vani Vagimoria got dismissed too early on just 13 runs in the fifth over. A Tony Ura Legasiaka partnership brought in a brilliant accumulative of 158 runs, which included a total of 4 sixes and 14 boundaries. And skipper Asad Vala and Sesebao then guided the Barras on to bring in the 3 for 262 at stumps yesterday. Now, despite the really good chase from the Barras, Scotland's lead meant they have now leapfrogged their way into the 5th placing on the ICAP, while the Barras fell from 4th to 6th. They will be meeting Hong Kong in a few months' time in the United Arab Emirates for the final fixture of the ICAP. For now, they will face Scotland again tomorrow for the round 6 of the World Cricket League fixture with hopes of redeeming themselves. Dinirose Raiko, National, EMTV Sports.
That ends Chukai Sports. The weather details when we come back.
Chukai Sports. Chukai Sports.
The weather details are proudly brought to you by Dulux Weather Shield, with doing with Dulux.
And now looking at the weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow in the southern region, Port Moresby, Daru and Popondetta mostly fine, partly cloudy. Kerma partly cloudy with a shower or two, and Alatau cloudy with brief showers. In Mamase, brief showers clearing, then cloudy for Ley, cloudy periods for Medang, partly cloudy with a shower or two in Wewak and partly cloudy in Vanimo. In the New Guinea Islands, cloudy with few showers for Lorengau, cloudy with thundery rain showers for Kavieng, Kokopo, Rabaul and Buka, and Kimbe becoming cloudy with few showers. And in the Highlands, all centers cloudy with chance of few evening showers.
The weather details are proudly brought to you by Dulux Weather Shield, with doing with Dulux.
And that ends National EMTV News this Wednesday, the 5th of October. From the news team, I'm Marilyn Diakatama. Pleasant viewing and good night.